So I can't blame it on anything but myself. And I have started taking 4 walks a day and taking responsibility for that. And I got to tell you, it's making a huge shift in my energy and my outlook. So I practice what I preach. So if you are looking to change your life and I make suggestions, it's usually something that I probably would do myself too. And you're going to have a safety net. That's what one of my clients says. It's a safety net. You make it safe, Gloria, for us to make these changes.
Well, I think a safety net can be good, but there's something about flying by the seat of my pants that is very exciting to me. And I don't have a safety net.
Well, I'm kind of the fly by the seat of your pants kind of person. So I get that, but not everybody is, So that's why I try to stretch them out of that safety net, because I do fly.
Many people have told me you are a one of a kind.
Yes. We're like sisters from another mister.
Yes,
then.
we are. Yes, we are. But there's something that's so exciting about being able to have those butterflies in your stomach, about doing something that is so outside of your normal routine.
Oh, absolutely.
I have to speak publicly a lot, and it's horribly frightening for me. I lose my breath. I can't even say the right words, and my brain freezes, and it's like, oh, my God, that's not what I meant to say at all. I love the one-on-one interaction with my guests and my hosts, because it's more personal, and I don't feel uncomfortable. So speaking to a guest who comes in, to me, that's fun. That's having a cup of coffee over a table.
Exactly. It is a little intimidating speaking in front of crowds. I do that too.
Yes.
But I learned a trick a long time ago. Never speak about anything that I don't really understand that's not from my heart, because I will stumble and shake for sure.
Oh, me too. Me too. I appreciate that. What's your favorite part of what you do?
I love seeing people have their big aha moments in life and change their lives.
When that light bulb comes on.
Oh, my God, yeah. It's like not just the life coaching or the health coaching. I do something called soul alchemy coaching, and that takes people to another level of thinking differently, because we are trained to think linear. We are conditioned, but if God gave us a brain and we're only using 10% of it, what are we doing with the rest of it?
Now, that's 90% that you could be having a lot of good times on.
That's right. And what I'm seeing is a lot of my clients seriously just changing their lives and their careers and their relationships and everything, and it's pretty amazing. And because I do like to fly on the seat of my pants, last year I took a group of people to Peru. And I tend to romanticize life sometimes.
Well, that's okay.
So, we had this whole retreat set up, and I began to think we should call it a vision quest. And little did I know it was going to turn into something like more than I knew. And then I saw this beautiful rainbow mountain, and I hadn't seen it the first time I went to Peru. And I called my contact. He says, yeah, we can go there. I said, cool, let's add it on. And then I went to do some searching, and I saw, oh, my God, people camp there under the southern Milky Way. This is like a talk about romanticizing. I said, could we do that? And he says, yeah, but we need 2 days. And then he had to hire wranglers and stuff. And I should have questioned more at that point, but I didn't. Well, it was quite the trek for 2 days, high up in the Andes, the highest point, 17,000 feet, with half the oxygen and very cold. And there are no campfires up there. So needless to say, a bunch of us went through quite the journey and had, some altitude sickness and kind of like a near-death experience for a few of us. And the next morning we got up and he told me, take some of these people back. And I said, no way, I don't do backwards. And he kind of got a little annoyed with me, and I said, no, I know what we came through. That's the hard part of life. I'm not going backwards. I see where we have to go. We are moving forward. And everybody on that trip, even though they were exhausted and tired and it was strenuous, most of them were older. And they felt so accomplished that they did something they never dreamt of. And all the guides, the Peruvian male guides, were so proud of all these women. And I got to tell you, it was amazing.
The power in a woman's mind is one of the most amazing organs I have ever heard about. We have a tendency to multitask, think past our nose. But unfortunately, it's always for someone else. It's not for ourselves. It's always we're taking care of another person or another group or a house or a car or kids or something, but it's never about us.
Well, and these are the women I work with because we do make it about us. We make it about our time. We have powerful potential and purpose. And I have been guided through my guides for the last 5 years to even create a business with that name and to align with women that want to stand strong in their power and to own their gifts. And guess what? We got the women, and we're doing a co-authored book coming out.
Awesome.
And we're going to do our first event in January in Pennsylvania. Then we're going to have another one down here in Florida. So, yeah, we can, be who we want to be and learn how to take care of ourselves. It is possible, and I've done it for me. It takes a little, breaking out of the norm, and not everybody's going to like it because they're so used to us being the caretaker. And I remember, actually, I started this journey a long time ago, and I was a business manager for a doctor, and one of the gals came in, "I need to talk to you." And I'm like, "Sure, come on, sit down." And she goes, "I'm not sitting down so you could have power over me." And I thought, okay, whatever. So she stood up and she said, "You're changing." And I thought,
Sounds like someone else is changing.
And I said, "Thank you." And she actually quit the job because she didn't like the fact that I was taking care of me the way I needed to. And I was trying to teach other people to do that too. Just back in my 30s, they weren't ready for it.
Let's take a break on that note, and we'll be back in just a few minutes. Hi, this is your host, Kate O'Neill on Society Bites Radio, and we are back with Gloria Coppola, one of the most accomplished women I have ever met. And if I could learn half of what she's forgotten, I know I'd be a better person. Gloria, welcome back.
Thanks, Kate. It's been fun with you here.
We have a good time here.
Yes.
We really do. There is nothing saying that work has to be hard.
No, I agree with that.
I like to whistle while I work.
Well, and that's part of your gift. When we were talking about gifts earlier and purpose, you make people feel comfortable. You have an open heart.
Thank you.
I can feel that. You have a beautiful spirit that is welcoming. And not everybody has that. So that is an energy and a purpose for you to be here.
Thank you. I appreciate that compliment. And that's exactly what I want my guests to feel like when they come in, that we've known each other for years and that this is just a stop to see a friend.
That's what it feels like.
Good. Well, tell us some of the things that they can expect to hear in your books.
Well, I have a book that I wrote after all of that tragedy 20 years ago. Okay, and I finished it about 3 years ago. It's called You Were Born to Love. So not only does it take you on the journey with me, and you can probably relate to a lot of those stories in there. There's something for everybody. But I also provide all the steps and things that I've done and things that I had to learn about myself. And so if you're, into self-exploration and personal development, then there's going to be a lot of steps in there. And what I tell people, Kate, is don't try to get through the whole book at once. There's all these different chapters and all these steps that I took.
You have to digest it.
You have to digest it. And I say, listen, if because I work with my coaching clients with this format too, I say, listen, if you can only get to 1 or 2 of those questions and not all 8 or 10 or 12, that's okay. You took 2 steps. You took 1 step. Move on to the next chapter, because most people won't move forward because they think they didn't complete. They've been told in their life somewhere, well, you have to complete that goal. You have to finish that project or you're not good enough. No, you're great. You took 1 step. You made a decision. Awesome. Let's move on. You could always come back if you need to.
I've learned in my life, if you're going to set a goal, make it a flexible goal.
Absolutely.
Make it an attainable goal.
There you go.
If you set your goals too high and then you don't achieve it, you begin to feel like you're a failure.
Absolutely.
People need successes, even the little ones in their lives.
You got it, and that's the thing I encourage people. I have a mastermind group for my clients in my coaching program, and what I tell them is celebrate the baby steps. We have a tendency to celebrate if we've reached the goal. Yay, I accomplished this. But you know what? It took 1,000,000 steps to get there, and sometimes we fell. Celebrate the failure too, because you learn. There's a purpose for that. You learn something, and maybe you learn to ask for help so that you could actually achieve your goal. That's a success story.
When I was a young person in grade school, I had a teacher who basically told me, if you never fail, no one will know you've ever tried.
That's right. That's exactly right. So that's the main book that I promote. I do have one that I wrote before that, Both Ends of the Rainbow, which is more of my journey when I was in Hawaii and with the kahuna, and part of it is for the healing arts practitioners as well. And then I actually have one for my health coaching clients called Getting Started to a Healthier Lifestyle, which is an easy manual because I kind of was honestly getting tired of saying, do this, eliminate that. So I put this easy book together, and they're all on Amazon, obviously.
Okay.
And I'm in the process of writing what's called my literary legacy, which should have been done maybe so, according to my publisher. But guess what? It'll be done when it's supposed to be.
And that is as all things should be.
Exactly.
When I first came into this, it was nothing like what I started out to do.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I was just going to be a radio host. I never dreamed in a million years I'd be running a station.
Wow. Yeah, you just never know where life is going to take you. You know, I had you mentioned earlier how I love to travel, and about a year ago I saw this beautiful photo on social media of this lake with these mountains, and I had no idea where it was, and I found out it was up in Alberta, Canada.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh my gosh, and you probably saw it on my cover photo there for a while.
I did. It was beautiful.
And then in my meditations I heard, focus on what I show you, not what you fear. And so I typed that on that thing and put it up there. Focus on what I show you, not what you fear, because we tend to look at the fear and the doubt and all that. And so I kept finding all these beautiful pictures of this place called Lake Louise. And I was like, wow. I said to a friend of mine, I'm going to be there in October, which is this year. I don't know why. I don't know how. Well, about 2 months ago, I got the opportunity to speak in Alberta, Canada, in October, which was last week, and got to go up to Lake Louise. And I was sitting there, and I heard again, focus on what I show you, not what you fear. So what I'm doing, actually, Kate, for people is a little ebook called Focus on What I Show You, Not What You Fear. And people can get that as soon as I get it done, probably in the next month.
I want one.
If they email me. So you just have to email me, which is my name, Gloria, at gloriacoppola.com. And when that book is done, I will send you a copy of the ebook.
Oh, I would love a copy of that ebook. The words of wisdom that you share are things that people need to hear. I think I'm not much different than anyone else. I know that there are things out there that I need to learn, I should do, maybe I should back off from. But to put it all in perspective and to put it all in order sometimes is extremely challenging. What would you tell someone who just feels like their brain is in chaos?
Go take a vacation.
I'm working on that.
Seriously. Well, come to France with me next year. Seriously, you have to get out of your own way. If you're doing, that saying, if you're doing everything the same, right? You're always doing the same thing, it's going to stay the same way. You have to get out of your patterns and routines. And for me, that's why I started traveling, because that is what saved my life more than once. Mm-hmm. And as a young woman, I went my first international trip at 17, and my parents let me go. We didn't have internet back then. I'm like, wow, they let me go, and we had no cell phones. Like, that was brave,
Oh, yeah.
And I saw life totally different even back then, and I realized how much I changed at 17 and thought every high school student needs to go to another country. I don't care where it is. Get out of your norm. And the same thing with us. It's like, even if I just go out in nature somewhere and I get away from people and all the nonsense and all the social media and the technology, you can think clearer. You can find yourself again.
Well, it's like Helen Mirren and Will Smith. They're having that sleep outdoors night.
I know. It's so funny.
And that is so interesting to me, because when we were kids, we used to sleep in the backyard.
Exactly. And now they have camps, detox camps for cell phones and video games, right? So we're realizing that we need to go back to the simplicity, and nature is our healer. And it is really where we can connect and really find, ourselves again. But if, like I said, if you're doing the same thing you've always been doing, and you come home,
you're going to get the same thing you always got.
Results. So you got to shake it up and change it. And that's where I come in, because a lot of people don't see what they can change. And we'll go through some things, and I don't push anybody off and do bungee jumping, because I don't believe in that myself. But I may say go jump out of a plane.
Why flirt with death?
But yeah, you have to do something different. You know, I'm doing something different tonight I've never done. So
I know the group you're going to see, and
Yeah.
there's some wonderful people there.
Yeah.
You will enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
I guarantee you.
yeah.
The other thing that I think that if people would do at least once a week,